up, Wedding Nerdigans? This is the one and only Packer Girl 89, and with all the hullabaloo going on with Mappa and now Cloverworks coming to light thanks to Chibi reviews, I figured, you know what, this is the best time to talk about the artist slash animator situation in Japan. But before I get to that, let me just remind you to hit that like, share, and subscribe buttons. And because, of course, this channel, let alone this video, are not sponsored. And I'm just a non-stop high-speed struggle train heading into chaos. And it's getting faster by the second. Like, I'm talking panic attack, migraine-inducing hyperspeed levels of struggle up. And yeah, seriously, I'm struggling to keep a roof over my head. It is that bad. But, if you love what I'm doing and want to help keep this channel alive and kicking, feel free to hit up my Cash App and PayPal. Those links are in the description box below, as well as the link to the article that I'm going to be discussing today, which has the full interview, both parts of the interview that Terumi does with Masou Ueda in the actual article. So, oh my God, I should have covered this ages ago, but life has really gotten to me. Chaos has ensued. It's been rough, but I'm finally doing it thanks to, Chibi reviews covering what's been going on with Mappa and now Cloverworks. And here's my thing in regards to Mappa. 2018, I went to a Mappa industry panel. I'm not the biggest fan of Mappa. I wasn't even the biggest fan of Mappa before I went to that industry panel, but oh man, after I learned what I learned about Mappa that day, woo! I had more reasons to not like them. And now, I definitely have more reasons to not like them. Just goes to show you my intuition is pretty damn good. And then with Cloverworks, oh boy, I'm going to say this from other insiders in the industry. I'm not going to name names, but I've heard that it's gotten worse since the pandemic started. So none of the news that Chibi reviews brought up in the past couple of days surprises me at all. I'm just going to say that. But we're going to get into this interview now. But I do want to mention this because Cartoon Brew really brings up a really good point here. That one of the bleaker themes running through the coverage of the poor conditions in which anime artists work pays notoriously low and hours are long. And hopes for better things through the intervention of global companies like Netflix have yet to really be fulfilled. Bitch, Netflix ain't gonna do crap. Netflix was actually encouraging it. They were. You cannot deny this. Especially with what's happening at Mappa. Ooh, Netflix was encouraging it. Especially with what we found out about Chainsaw Man, that the entire part 1 is rumored to be adapted in 2 cores. Yeah. I got plenty to say about that. See, I don't like Mappa. God. So basically what this interview is going to, the interview that's on Terumi's channel, there's 2 parts to this. Basically, they're drawing on their experiences of the anime industry and what the effects of unionization might have and why it is slow in coming, which is a huge problem. But here we go. So for those of you that don't know who Ueda and Terumi are, Masou Ueda is a veteran of the industry. He has worked at Sunrise and Aniplex, serving as president and CEO of the latter subsidiary studio, A1 Pictures. And he and Terumi Nishii, whose credits include Cartoon Brew. I can't believe he did not include the other credits. And this really kind of pissed me off when I was at Crunchyroll Expo 2019. But they did not mention it. Not mention this one in particular. Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, Diamond is Unbreakable. They also did the art and animation for Saint Seiya, Zodiac Nights. Hey, say what you will about the whole thing. I'm not happy with what they did with Shun. That is all on Toei's. That's Toei's fault. It ain't your fault, Terumi. You were just doing your job. And I'm still sad that my Shiki drawing got stolen. Yeah, they drew Shiki for me. or not Shiki, I'm sorry, they drew, I fucking cover too much content. They drew Iki for me, and it got stolen when I was forced to, move out after, after Brian died. So yeah, that was not fun. And also, Terumi worked on, or was the head animator for a good chunk of Jujutsu Kaisen season 1. So yes, Terumi is a huge deal. Just saying. But anyways, so there's 6 reasons why anime artists remain unpaid and unorganized. So studios tend to work with small budgets they can't control. Ueda points out that only a few high-profile studios like Ghibli raise their own budgets, which they can do because they have strong brands. I definitely believe that. Others depend on orders from production companies or major producers like Netflix. If they don't successfully bid for these commissions, they have no work. This helps squeeze overall budgets. I would imagine, like, that's the thing though. I wonder if it's like that with Toei as well. If Toei is one of those few high profile studios as well. Because remember, Toei's got like really, really high brands like Dragon Ball and One Piece. And Precure as well. So I wonder if Toei is one of those few that can do it. To boot. I would think so, but you guys can let me know what you think. But Netflix, oh god, don't get me started on Netflix. Oh. There's anxiety that unions would cost studios work. You know what? I can understand that. Oh, I can understand that. This is a common argument against unionization everywhere. Someone, possibly abroad, will always be willing to work for less than the negotiated minimum. That is definitely true. And so we'll get the job. I completely understand this because, they're dealing with animator, they're dealing with cheaper, you know what, I'm going to say this. They're already outsourcing work to South Korea. I think there's outsourcing to China as well in terms of art and animation. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. So if there is unionization, I think that's that would increase even more. I think that's a huge concern. So I can understand that. There's always someone worried about being out of work, so they accept the lower offer, says Ueda. This is true of studios as well as artists, which is why bidding for orders leads to such low budgets. Yeah, I can understand that. Most artists are freelance. Yet many artists were on staff in the post-war decades. When major studio Toei Doga did have a union. Which major studio Toei Doga did have a union. Nowadays, the financial climate is worse and freelancers are prevalent, which makes it harder for them to organize. That would kind of be a problem, but you would think that with freelancers, they would have their own union. So it wouldn't. What I'm saying is, like, even though there wouldn't be a union for just a company. Nah, there could be a union for freelance artists. That could still be a possibility. It could happen. It could. Will it happen? I don't know. If they're smart enough if the animators wise up and know how to do it, yeah, there could be a union for freelance animators. It could be done. If they can do it right, it can be done. Studios are now run by businessmen. Oh god, this is so true. Oh god. In the old days, the people who started anime studios had a philosophy, says Ueda, citing artists like Osamu Tezuka and Tatsuo Yoshida. But now salarymen are taking over, often because studios are now owned by big corporations. Animators' welfare is less of a priority for them. Okay, this is I can understand this. Yeah, capitalism and all that. That is very true. And you can make the argument that this is like that in the manga industry as well. But the thing is with the manga industry, the manga industry is kind of adapted more. And it's interesting with the manga industry, is that there's a little bit more, I don't know, there's more love in the manga industry, more heart. Yeah, there's the salary shit and all that. You can make the argument that it's gone corporate in some ways. But in other ways, like, I feel like because manga is more of a cultural importance in Japan, I think that's why it hasn't completely gone the route of anime. Whereas anime is more important overseas than in Japan. But the other thing, and I can't help but think of Hitman, by Seo Koji, because there's an arc in that manga about manga to anime adaptations, and that's another reason why I compare this to the manga industry. And in that arc, you see how for big budget animes, they do everything. They like get games, merch, all of that, and they care more about that, and they care more about having the character designs look a certain way to, appeal more to a broader audience, not giving a fuck about the designs. And then you see, like, for the smaller, and this is compared to like a smaller budget and manga to anime adaptation, where the director has for it, the project has more love and more passion for it. Like, you see a huge compare and contrast situation. It's really interesting. I really recommend, I'm telling you, go read Hitman by Seo Koji. You learn a lot, not just about the manga industry. Oh, but you learn about the anime industry as well. And another one that I've kind of learned a little bit more about as well is, because there is a couple of arcs about it. Well, we just finished the stage production, manga to stage adaptation production for it is Oshinoko. But Hitman by Seo Koji, that manga, you will learn so much about the anime industry. You will. It ain't pretty. But anyways, this does not surprise. This right here about how studios are run are now run by businessmen. It does not surprise me at all, and it's really sad. It really is. Whereas, again, I got to compare it to the manga industry for a minute. Whereas with the manga industry, the majority of them, from what it looks like, they're with the editors, everybody, they love what they do. From what it seems to me, they love what they do, and they care about the artists themselves, because that's who they have. Because it's mainly with the mangaka, it's just them. Some, like with Oda, they have assistants, but mostly with manga, it's just one person drawing the manga. So there's that. But anyway, artists are apathetic. When labor group Janica was founded in 2007, Nishii recalls that colleagues had a lukewarm reaction. Few believed unionization would work. Oh, okay. So Janica failed to secure widespread changes in the industry, which has only added to the disillusion. When they look at Janica, artists feel that unionizing is especially bothersome, Nishii adds. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. There's that thing with unions. Unions. Problem is with unions sometimes is unions can be extremely corrupt, and unions, depending on where you're at, they can either work in your favor or they can't. Like, for example, the nurses union. The nurses union helped my mom big time when she had to retire, because the hospital tried to she was working for UCSF tried to screw her over, screw her out of her retirement, and the union fought for her, and she got her retirement, full benefits and all, because she worked for UCSF for 30 years, so she was getting her retirement no matter what. She was fighting for that. So if you have this where, and also if you have this situation where people don't, where few are going to believe the unionization is going to work, it's not going to work. You can't go in with this attitude like that. Nah, if you got to go in believing that it's going to work. The industry small size makes things harder. Okay, if you take a look around, you can recognize most of the people, says Ueda. So if your goal is to form a union, it's likely to be very tough to realize. Though Ueda doesn't say this explicitly, there may be a fear that moves to unionize will antagonize employers who are likely to forget. Yeah, I can see that. Ueda notes that the anime voice actors and screenwriters do. Ooh, now listen to this. Ueda notes that the anime voice actors and screenwriters do have a union representation, and believes the rest of the industry can get there too. And he has one key recommendation. The union, and I'll get to that in a second, but wait a minute. Wait a minute. So we're going this route. So the union, before I get to that this key recommendation part, I understand where he's coming from, that because that's like something that goes down in like Hollywood and stuff like that. Yeah, it happens. But this right here, now this is where I have a problem. You're telling me that anime voice actors and screenwriters have union representation, but the animators don't? Why? This don't make sense, especially for the freelancers. If anyone should be having who should have a union by now are the freelancers. Freelancers have all the power. They can do it. They can get a freaking union together. And yes, I know they do have that shit overseas. Yes. And trust me, I know Studio, and I've been told this many a times. Studio Period does a lot of their outsourcing overseas. But you know what? But I'm going to say this. You know why there's mediocre animation right now? And I get attacked constantly for this. Is because all of you guys, all you people, you support this mediocrity. You do. Because you support mediocre animation. You still buy up all that product. You support this. You do. If you stop supporting this, stop supporting the mediocrity, then maybe you get some better quality animation, and maybe the freelance artists will come and get hired. Stop the freaking outsourcing. Seriously, they are the problem. If you want to gotta support the freelancers, man. Yeah, I know the in-house stuff too. But I mean, this is ridiculous. This is freaking ridiculous. There is no reason why the freelancer, especially the freelancers, why you guys can't have your own union. I'm not sorry for saying that. And also, wait a minute. The screenwriters have a union. Directors, why do you not have your own union? Producers, why don't you have your own union? Especially with what we found out with MAPPA, with the directors, like one of the directors for Attack on Titan, or the director for Attack on Titan, worked for 3 days straight. Like, what the actual fuck? This is ridiculous. No, this is slave labor that's going on over there. If the screenwriters can have a union, and the voice actors can have a union, where are they for the directors? Where are they for the producers? What the actual hell? This is ridiculous. You can't outsource those. Nah. You can't outsource directors. You can't outsource producers. You can't outsource screenwriters. You can't outsource animators. That explains so much for Black Clover, though. Anyways, all right, now let's get to this. So let's get back to this. Ueda notes that anime voice actors and screenwriters do have union representation and believes the rest of the industry can get there too. He has one key recommendation. The unionization effort should start with senior artists. I completely agree with this. The likes of animation directors and character designers, as well as renowned animators, are crucial to successful productions and should use their bargaining power. I freaking agree with this. I believe that the first step would to be to build up that sort of leverage, says Ueda. With time, representation could expand to others. He adds that fans can do their bit by supporting unionization. All right, I'm going to say this. The thing is, though, Ueda, I'm going to say this. The fans, they are fanboys. They are Mappa. I'm going to specifically talk about the Mappa stands. The Mappa stands don't care. That is the problem. They do not care. They just want their Mappa anime. They don't give a fuck about how they treat their animators. They don't care. You know how I know this? Because I tweeted about it I was tweeting about it. I can't remember whose tweet it was. I think it was to Chibi Reviews or was it to, I don't remember whose tweet it was. I was tweeting about it. And the Mappa stands were, I mentioned, maybe it was Crunchyroll. I was talking about, how they need to treat their animators better. And that, it was practically like slave labor and shit. And the Mappa stands don't care. They do not care. They just want their anime. Because they like their Mappa anime. They don't care. Asking them to care and support unionization is like asking them to people that love Nike addicts or Nike stands to ask China to get Nike to stop using child sweatshop labor to make Nike products. It's not going to happen. Good luck with that. You are not going to get this to happen. Like for the hardcore anime fans, for the hardcore anime fandom, yeah, you'll get them to support you. Definitely. But the Mappa fanboys, again, they are not, the Mappa stands, they are not going to support you. They do not care. And they are the problem. They are the problem. They are the biggest problem. But I do care with this. The unionization effort should start with senior artists, and not just them. It should also start with the animation directors and character designs and renowned animators. Yeah, they should. I don't understand why they haven't. And that should also be in terms of leading the freelance artists as well. Why aren't they doing anything? I know it's you know why? I think it has something to do with the oversaturation in the anime industry because they're so busy. They're keeping them so busy they can't even find the time to do it. You got to wonder if that's why that's the case. And it kind of explains that. Ueda described it as salarymen running, the anime industry. Well, that explains the oversaturation. I know it's not funny, but God, it really does explain a lot. But do I think unionization can happen? Yeah, but I really feel like that the fans need to make a stand. They do. They need to support. They need to, especially with Mappa and with now Cloverworks and shit. You need to stop. You need to stop supporting this crap. You need to stop supporting them and say, look, until you unionize, we ain't gonna support you. This is ridiculous. And also, I'm going to say that I'm going to say this in regards to unions. Because unions, I'm not a fan of public sector unions, okay? Because public sector unions in the States, they have really screwed a lot of crap up. They screwed a lot of us over here, at least in California, where I live. But there's a time and a place for unions. And the anime industry is definitely one of those times and places where a union needs to happen. Because where the anime industry is at, where it really feels like it's at right now, is like at the Industrial Revolution. That's where it's at. And it is insane. It's before labor laws have really kicked in. Be grateful that the US has labor laws like we do. They don't have that over in Japan. But I do understand why the animators are scared to do it, because at the same time, the executives of the production companies could be like, well, screw you, I'll just outsource this to South Korea or China and you'll be out of a job. I can understand this. I really can understand this. But at that point, you might as well just have them organize and say, screw you, we'll just start our own studio. I know it's expensive, but they might as well at that point. And that's another problem, though. That is another problem, is that because you have so many studios, or not, don't have that many studios. You only have like a few big studios right now, and not that many smaller studios to take up a lot of these projects and this oversaturation that's happening right now. I think that's a big problem as well. Because Mappa is taking up I'm going to use Mappa. Look at Mappa, and I'm going to compare them to David Productions because I got it. Mappa is covering a ton, is doing a ton of projects. They're doing Hell's Paradise Shigakuraku, which I am not happy about. They're doing Blue Lock again, which I'm not happy about. They're doing Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen. Well, now they have Attack on Titan out right now, just to name a few. And then you look at something like David Productions, which they barely do any series. They barely do that many series a year. It's insane. And also with IG Productions is another one. They barely do that many series a year. They don't take up as much as Mappa does. But the thing is with IG, I got to give major, and again, it's not because I know I've met Maki, I've met the dub voice actors from IG. I've met like people from IG. I've met people from Mappa. Again, I do not like Mappa. I've met people, and I've met Terumi too. But I mean, the people. What I've noticed, there was a difference between, and I gotta compare Mappa and IG. There was a difference between the Mappa panel and the IG panel. And this is back in 2018. With the Mappa panel, it just felt so cold and it just felt so stiff. And then when you go to the production IG panel, anyone who's been to a Mappa or an production IG panel can attest to this. When you go to a production an IG Productions panel, especially in comparison to a Mappa panel, it just feels so warm and inviting, and it just feels so welcoming. Whereas a Mappa panel, it just is it just is so, it's so calculated and so corporate. It just feels wrong. But anyways, I'm very curious what you guys think of all of this. What do you guys think about this unionization? What do you guys think? Do you guys agree that a unionization can happen? I agree, it can happen. They are. I think it can. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I am missing. But there's a couple of quotes here that I damn it, Cartoon Brew, you missed some of this. But this is why I'm double checking. One of the quotes here, not all animators are poor, but compared to the top animators in the world, the top animators in Japan are cheap. Yeah, yep. And a lot of it has to do with the budgets that they get. And I'm curious what you guys think about this. Without an animators union in Japan, the future of animation is bleak. In terms of working conditions, I actually kind of agree. I mean, the fact that you have if the voice actors and the hold on, let me pull this up again. Yeah, shoot, I lost the spot. Damn it. The fact that you have the voice actors and the screenwriters have a union and the artists don't, that is a huge problem. That really irritates me. This is just ridiculous. I just don't understand. I don't get it. It needs to be done. But I'm very, very curious what you guys think. what you guys think of the stuff in terms of unions, and do you think it can happen? I think it could, but I agree with what Ueda said here. Is that you gotta get the higher ups, the senior artists the senior animators need to come together. And I really would love to see Terumi lead the charge on this. Terumi, I'd love to see you lead the charge on this, because you've been extremely passionate about this. I would love to see you lead the charge on this and get all the animators together and get like all the lead character designers and all of them get together and figure something out, especially with the freelancers. The freelancers are where you should start with in terms of unionization. That's at least what I think. I think that's the best way to go about it, is start with the freelancers and then work your way around. Because if you get the freelancers going, then you will see, I think if you get a freelancers union started, then the animators will come. All the animators from the other companies will slowly come to you. And then the studios will have to change something, because they will see that all the animators will come. And yeah, they will try and outsource. They will. But guess what they're going to get? The only thing they're going to get is shitty anime. Because we see what goes on with Boruto. I'm just saying, hey, if Mappa wants Jujutsu Kaisen, if UFO Table wants Kimetsu no Yaiba, if Cloverworks wants My Dress Up Darling, they're going to have to go through, the Animators Union if this is done right. I'm just saying. I'm curious what you guys think. How do you guys think they should unionize? As I said, I think they need, I agree with Ueda, and I think once the freelancers start their union and have everybody come in, then the bosses will be at your feet. And also, they should kind of look and see how the union started here in the US and kind of, get the framework from here too. It might actually be to their benefit. I'm curious what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below, what you guys think, and remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nerdigans Inc. If you love what I'm doing and want to help keep this channel alive and kicking so I can keep bringing you more manga, anime, and all that, and whether it be news, live reactions, and, Oricon rankings too, which come out every Friday. A few ways you could do that. Let me know. Oh my God. You could donate to my Cash App, PayPal, Patreon, purchase something on my Amazon wishlist. All it's in the description box below. Also, make sure you follow me on Twitter, Twitch, Discord, friend me on PlayStation Network. That's in the description box below as well. Till next time, Nerdigans, we'll be seeing you later. Bye.